Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. I am a small My name is Amanda. I am a small reseller. I currently sell on eBay as well as on Niknax and on Whatnot. Every Saturday at 2 p.m. I go live on Whatnot and do a vintage live sale. I tend to throw things in randomly in addition to anything you see available for the sale, so you never know. I suggest you bookmark it and come by and hang out with me Saturday 2 p.m. on Whatnot for a vintage live sale. Next, I was recently approved to become a live seller on Niknax in addition to my store that I have on Niknax. And when that occurred, I decided this would be a great opportunity to start selling jewelry. And I love the format of selling it in live sale. And I've talked about before that I dislike, I think, selling jewelry in a more traditional format online of just listing it. And I have a lot more fun interacting with you guys, and it's a lot easier for me because my knowledge base in jewelry is extremely small. It's extremely little. You guys show up to the sale and you know generally more than I do. So come to the sale this Thursday, you're bound to get a good deal. But I enjoy doing the live sale format with you guys. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been taking advantage of it, and I've done 2 sales so far. They both were fantastic. My first one I think was even better than my second one. And some of that could have been because it was, I was new and I tried to promote it more probably and stuff like that. And I kind of felt like I fell short on time by doing one on Sunday. I wanted to because it was Mother's Day and I thought that'd be great to do. But I think a lot of people had the same idea, so there were a lot of sellers on that day. And so that could have been part of it, but I think it was also, I didn't give a lot of notice for it, guys. And so I think that made a little bit of a difference maybe in it. But regardless, it was still a lot of fun. I think I kind of ruined the experience for myself a little bit with it though, because my first one, I didn't really tag a lot of things. We just literally just pulled it out and ran through it. And so it was kind of messy in the end when I had to sit and figure out who got what and everything. So I was like, okay, we need to hammer out a more efficient method to the madness and organize it a little bit better. And so this time I had each piece already measured and kind of written out a little spiel about it and stuff, the basics of what the piece was. And I think in some ways I think that saved time because we were done in like 2 hours, and I don't think I had too much less in my jar because in the end of the last sale we still had maybe 10 or 15 pieces still in there, and that was a 4-hour sale. And so this one, we got through everything in it, but it was a 2-hour sale. But I think some of that's because I already had all the measurements. So we weren't doing that together. And I think that kind of, I don't know why, because it certainly made the sale go by quicker, but I think it was just a little more interactive and fun doing even that part with you guys. And it also took me a lot longer to put the jar together last time, where, by sitting and doing all of that ahead of time, maybe saved me a tad bit in the end, but in reality, not really. It was kind of over the top organization, like I tend to do. That can also overcomplicate things sometimes, and I think that's what happened for me, was I just overcomplicated it for me, when really I just need to put a number in the bag with the piece, and then have something written down on the side that corresponds to the number, instead of doing all the measurements and all that stuff ahead of time, because again, I kind of thought it was a little more fun like doing that part with you guys. I don't know. Tell me if you saw the sale. Tell me what you think, what your thoughts are. I'm open to hearing it all. I'm just going off of like my perspective of how it went, and I don't think it was anything to do with the sale in and of itself. I think it was me that kind of like, I don't know, I think I put too much like into it, if that makes sense, in a way, because the first one was a little more fun for me because it felt a lot more random. Anyways, so we're gonna take a quick peek through some of this just to give you guys an idea of basically what all I still have to go through, and we'll do that here in just a minute. First, the main purpose of this video is to catch up with you guys on what sold recently. I've tried to put it into my last couple videos, but my videos were seeming to run a little long, and so with all, you know, like what sold portion in it, it was like putting it even longer. So so I wanted to do a video just kind of dedicated to that. There's roughly 3 pages worth of stuff that I'm going to run through fairly quickly with you guys, and then we'll take a peek at this stuff. This first one is a vintage Knott's Berry Farm ceramic bathtub souvenir novelty ashtray. So it's a ceramic miniature bathtub that technically is an ashtray. And, you know, it was really cool. I don't think it really had any damage on it. I want to say it dated maybe to the 70s or something like that. But I also think it still had the original, like, retailer's little sticker on the bottom. But I wound up selling that one for $12, and that sold on April 26th, and it was just a cool vintage little piece. And if I remember correctly, I think Knott's Berry Farm is still up and running, or was until at least recently, but I think it was still there. Next, I had this adorable little Chihuahua, and it kind of breaks my heart that he's gone because I loved him. I had him titled as Vintage Chihuahua Orange Eyes Hand Painted Ceramic Figurine. And I think he was ceramic, but he was also, I don't know, he was kind of almost like a plaster. Not chalkware per se, but he was a little maybe closer to that line. He was a heavy little guy, but he was just adorable. He was hand painted. I wound up selling him for $20 on April 27th. Okay, then next we had the adorable little Cucura Luster cream and sugar set that I had, that I think I showed you guys in another video. I loved them. I absolutely loved them. I think the antique store I got them in, I believe the dealer had originally had them at like 30 or 40 something and had them marked down to, I don't know, 12 or 15. It was something like that. And so I wound up paying that for them. And then I got, let's see, $28, and they sold on April 28th, oddly enough. But super cool set. They were in beautiful condition. I loved those. Another sort of heartbreaker for me to see go, I'll be honest. But I'm glad they, went off to a good home. Next, we had the vintage Franciscan Desert Rose earthenware plate set. They were 11-inch plates, and I think there were 6 of them. And 2 of them had some like minor, mild kind of scratching on the face of them. More use wear, I suppose. But they sold for $20 on April 29th. And if you guys remember, I picked those up at the Goodwill not terribly long ago, and they were 99 cents a piece. So not a bad pickup and turnaround on those. Then I had this vintage Baya folk art wood bowl, hand carved and painted floral roses, Mexico. That's how I had that titled. I wound up getting $35 on this one, and it sold on April 29th. I really like this bowl. I think it does have a little bit of genuine age to it. Just because there's some like tiny little flakes of paint chip, things you would expect with a little age and whatnot on it. But it's a beautiful bowl, hand painted. I loved that piece. On April 30th, for $9, I sold this vintage mid-century Redwing ceramic black gold console bowl planter, Japan. It was marked on the bottom. Who was it marked with? Oh, I can't think of it. I'll try to put it up here. It had the original sticker still on the bottom. It was sort of an abstract kind of a shell looking sort of planter. I don't know exactly what you would call it. It was really neat though, and it was red ware. It was black glaze with like that gold airbrush on the trim and stuff of it. It was really neat. I don't know for sure, but it would have been really cool if that would have come originally with like little candlesticks or something that matched to go with it. Then on May 2nd for $6, I sold this vintage Lefton white foliage embossed ceramic pedestal compost planter, Japan. That's how I had it all titled. This was a vintage piece. It had, you know, some decent crazing all over it and stuff, but it was otherwise in pretty darn good condition. There wasn't a lot of decoration to it. It was just embossed with like this foliage, I guess, floral sort of motif, and then it was just simply glazed. It was a simple piece, but it's cute, it's elegant, and it still had the original Lefton sticker on it. You guys will remember this piece I picked up recently. The vintage 1950s Janette shell pink milk glass Vineyard divided relish dish tray that I picked up at Goodwill for $5.99, I think it was, here recently, and I sold it for $22. This is adorable, and I believe originally they came at least in a pair, if not more of them. So it's a ceramic piece, and he's sort of 3D figural, you know, and it's got like a wood made to look like a wood frame, and then it's the hunting dog, English pointer, and he's got a duck, I think, in his mouth, and he's, you know, like walking along the forest or whatever. It is a really cool, like, scene that is figural, you know. I don't know, it's a really neat piece. I had titled it Vintage Napco Weare, and it still had its original sticker and stuff on it. Napco Weare 3D ceramic English pointer. It was C6826 was what was printed on the back. Dog decor sculpture, Japan. It sold for $25 on May 2nd. Next, I had this tiny little, you know, the like miniature tea set of, I believe it was Dreamsicle, or at least very much made to look like Dreamsicle. It was vintage miniature resin Dreamsicle cherub angel tea set. It sold for $8 on May 3rd. It was cute. It had the teapot, and he had like his cap would come off, and then it had the cream and sugar, and it had 2 little saucers and 2 cups, and then like the little serving tray. It was an adorable little miniature tea set. Then I had, and I showed this piece too recently in a video, I've had listed on eBay for quite a while, as well as on Whatnot too, and nobody had snagged it up, so I'm glad it finally got bought and went off to a good home. But it was this vintage Andrea by Sadik girl with spaniel dog on pillow, porcelain hand painted. Sold for $13 on May 4th. Now, it did have a very tiny flea bite. I would say more to the glaze or the paint than the, you know, porcelain itself, but nonetheless, it was behind her on the back side, and it was on the edge of the pillow. And so I hated that it was there, but it was. But super cute piece. It's the little girl. She's holding up the ball, and the, you know, dog's on the pillow with her. I loved it. Loved that piece. It had been listed for a while and hadn't done anything. And like I said, I had it on Whatnot also, and I just couldn't believe nobody was snagging it up. But again, maybe that's just me. I look at it and I say, oh my gosh. But maybe it was just me, I don't know. Then next, we had this vintage Anchor Hawking Garfield Glass Mug Cup McDonald's. I'm not the one who rises, is the statement or phrase that Garfield is making on the cup. That sold for $12 on May 5th. So just a novelty vintage collector's cup. You know, I'd say that's about average for where these ones sell. I think there's probably some of them that are a little more rare or hard to find, maybe we should say, than others. I'm not 100% sure where mine in particular fell in that, but, you know, I hate to tell people to avoid picking these kinds of cups up because typically there's pretty good money in them, but not all of them are. So it's definitely one of those pay to play, you know, do your homework kind of games with the novelty cups like this. These, you guys probably saw me pick up recently at Goodwill for $1.99, this set of salt and pepper shakers. And I fell in love with them. They were gorgeous. They had no damage, maybe just tiny bits of wear to like the gold, and that was it. They were beautiful. They didn't have their original corks. I did not care. These were antique, WA pickered, hand-painted fruit, etched gold, salt, pepper shaker set signed. And signed means that they were stamped on the bottom with the W.A. Picard China. And I sold these for $26 on May 6th. Did I sell them for too little? Maybe. They were beautiful and in beautiful condition, so maybe. But you know, I got them for $1.99, and so I made my money and then some back on it. Then we have this vintage Redwing pottery white crackle Indian style wedding bud vase. And so it's hard to see on this piece, but it's kind of faintly embossed with like sort of a laurel wreath mark on, I believe, both sides of it. And so it's in like the traditional little like wedding vase, double spouted, with the handle in the center. And it was a super cute piece. I don't think there was any damage to it. There might have been a flea bite on it. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's a short little guy, and he was adorable. And he wound up selling for $10 on May 8th. This lamp. This lamp sold, and I believe is still in shipment. It went international, and I believe it's on its way to Japan. And it was the vintage retro RCA Nipper commemorative dealer desk lamp. And this was, I believe, produced during the 80s. And it's made to look like stained glass, but it's in fact a plastic. And it was in pristine condition. There was nothing wrong with it. I think there is originally like a hook attachment piece that you would get with it that you could hook the lamp to the wall. So then you could bend the lamp. But because the neck of it bends either direction. And so really, really cool piece. I was so glad there was no cracks or anything with the lampshade. I took time to carefully package this piece up. The lampshade was within its own box, within the box. I really tried to make sure that that shade would survive whatever trek it went through on its journey. But I wound up selling this lamp for $210 on May 8th. And like I said, it's going international. I don't think it's arrived at its destination as of yet. On May 8th, also, for $18, I sold those little marigold carnival glass, the Scalloped Edge. They were berry bowls, but I don't know what the pattern was on the outside. It looked kind of like the veins of a leaf or an orange peel, and it had it like that texture to it, sort of like an orange peel. It was a really cool, really pretty little bowls. There was a set of 5 of them, and like I said, they sold for $18. They were in beautiful condition, no chips, no cracks or anything. Gorgeous little set, and I think I got those again for 99 cents a piece at Goodwill here not terribly long ago. Next piece that sold is this antique Art Deco Gotham, Austria Perkenhammer hand-painted small porcelain plate. This is a gorgeous piece that I wish I had more of, done in the same manner at least. It was hand-painted entirely. It was stunningly beautiful. I loved it. I loved the design of it, sort of that spade, like club style, like 3-leaf clover sort of style. It was, you know, very Art Deco blended with a little bit of that Art Nouveau floral coming through. It was gorgeous. It wound up selling for $10.09. I took an offer on it. I don't remember what I had it listed at, maybe 16 or something like that. But I took an offer at $10 on May 9th for it. Next, you guys will remember this piece also from a recent Goodwill trip. This is that vintage Drew blue tulip enamel cast iron pot Dutch oven. It was embossed or debossed on the base, number 16, and made in Holland. And I picked it up at Goodwill not long ago, and for $5.99, and sold it for $50. I think I had it listed at $68, I believe, and I took an offer for it at $50. I thought that was fair, and it was a beautiful pot. It was in great, like, as about excellent as you can get on a previously owned piece. As close to new as you can get, really. It was gorgeous. But again, $50, May 11th, sold that guy. Then, also on May 11th, I sold this other Andrea by Sadik figurine. It was called Spirit of 76, and then it has the 3 gentlemen, or one young man, and the other two gentlemen carrying the flag and drumming. And it's a super cool figurine. It wound up, I think I had it listed at $80 and I took an offer of $76 on it. Then on May 10th, I sold this vintage Hazel Atlas sunflower daisy green glass candy dish ashtray. I believe it was originally intended as an ashtray, but it's just a really cool dish. I believe made in the 70s, if I remember right, maybe the 80s. And really neat though, intended to look like a flower, and no chips, no cracks, cool piece. This vintage, I don't know how you're supposed to say it. Yeomans, I'm not sure. It's Yeoman. It was electroplated black bakelite bead Demetasi spoon set, England. So this set here was originally made in England, and the little box that they came in, the customer ended up not wanting. They said they had their own box that they were going to put these guys in, so they had me hang on to it. So maybe I'll just sell the box separately to a collector out there, somebody who needs the box. I don't know. But anyways, the spoons and stuff were made in England, and they do have these little black bakelite beads on the end. They were in really good condition. Like I said, they were electroplated. Really pretty set. I believe they dated back to the 40s or 50s, if I remember right. But they sold for $18 on the 11th. Then on the 12th, I sold this vintage mid-century Redwing. It was number 1625. Teal aqua speckled with brown art pottery vase. I love the lines on this piece. I just think this piece is gorgeous. I love the color of it, the style of the glaze, the way they did it and stuff, but just the form of it is, if you're a mid-century person, and I don't necessarily consider myself a mid-century modern, person, but I love the look and style of this piece. I wound up selling this one for $30 on the 12th. Gorgeous piece, no damage to it. Beautiful. For $18 on the 12th, this vintage Lennox porcelain floral bouquet bud vase, ivory gold USA. This buyer has asked to do local pickup, and I've sent them a message. I haven't heard back yet, but I'll let you guys know. The vintage George Davidson Art Deco topaz briar cloud glass console bowl. This is that gorgeous, I believe it dated to the 20s or the 30s. And it was that gorgeous heavy glass console bowl, and it's like a cloud swirl of this. I think it's the nail on the head with the name. It's sort of like this green aqua sort of glass color with this like amethyst cloud in it. It was beautiful, and I wound up selling it for $40 on the 13th. That same evening yesterday, I sold these. I had them listed for forever too. They were cast iron and little like peg pieces that came down to a roller, and they had the thick white porcelain wheels on them. They were in great condition, like no big chips or cracks or anything like that. They've been used, and you can tell they were used, but there was not any major damage to them. They could still be used today and be used and function well. So really cool set. And then I wound up selling those. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. It'll be right up here. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. Look at me forgetting stuff right off. Okay. But anyways, I sold those. And so both that George Davidson and the little wheels went out earlier today. Okay, you guys, so up in this top bucket here is mostly stuff that is pieced out. It's been damaged, or it was pulled off of pieces that were damaged. I've held on to them because, just in case there's something simple that I could ever fix a piece I came across that I wanted to sell. But what I think I'm going to wind up doing with a lot of this stuff is, at some point, I'm going to do like a crafter's bonanza sale and just have them all bagged up and pieced out together, in little lots, and sell them that way, because I think a lot of you guys would find use in, there's a lot of cool pieces in here, vintage pieces and stuff like that. Like, I don't throw anything away, because I always think even the beads off of something can be reused. So I really like to do that with pieces. In here is rings and pins and, a few more brooches and stuff. Bracelets. Here's some cool necklaces that are, you know, kind of different. You know, stuff like this guy. I'm not sure what kind of bean he is, but bean. There's some bolos, little ceramic horsies. Here's some more with the same kind of beans, but it's got some other shells on it. This one here is really neat. I'm not sure on him. He's a handmade little piece. This is like a ceramic of some kind. But yeah, I'm not sure who made it or how or why or what. But yeah, so I'm trying to be cautious too and see if, as I'm going through here, because I've like got tons, this is all pretty much necklaces in here, but just tons and tons and tons of necklaces. So I'm trying to see if I don't have, you know, bracelets, rings, or, you know, other accessory pieces that go with it anyway, or would match it and I can make a set out of it. Because I think some pieces I have are cool, but I think that they would be more appreciated in a set, if that makes sense. Then we got more necklaces, some different types of pearls. This here, I think these are, I don't know, glass, I think, is what that is. Here's some rings marked with different things, like electroplated and stuff like that. Made in Korea necklaces. Different hearts and things. There's all kinds of stuff in here. This one here, I think actually has some pretty genuine age to it. I'm not sure. I think this one's not meant to look Victorian. I think this one very well may be. I'm not sure. And then here's just some pendants. I think this is real agate of some sort. It's kind of got blue and pink and stuff to it. If not agate, what's that shell called? You find like that sort of spiral shell. I can't remember the name of it. I have a piece somewhere with a pendant, or oh, it's a ring. I have a ring with that on it. Here's some more earrings, and guys, this isn't even all of it because I still have stuff up in this piece. I have tons of stuff in here, and this is what I've been working off of so far to pull things. This is a coral necklace, 1950s Art Deco, I believe in great condition. I feel like I found another like accessory coral piece to this, or maybe one that looked identical to this, but I don't remember if it's silver gold tone. I don't know, I'll have to look at that later. Here's some different, is it Hobe or Hobie pieces? There's these like little gold flower screwback clip-on earrings, and then this blue enamel, and I think these are both in really good condition, if I remember right. The earrings and the necklace there. This one here is marked Napier, but it's, I don't know, it's like a silver tone, but it's very tarnished, if you will. I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't tried to clean it up or anything, but it's still, it's the Napier or whatever, so I held on to it. This one here is BSK with thermoset hearts and white daisies. And so some of these pieces, guys, like, I don't know, it's probably smarter for me to list on eBay, and I might do that with some of them. Seagull, California. These are earrings, pierced ear earrings. And so I might do that with some of them. I don't know. I hate doing it that way. This one here is signed by Star. I don't know. It's got little, like, I'm guessing glass clear rhinestones in the center of the flowers. It's a vintage piece. I don't know who Star is. Who is Star? Here's Avon pieces, like matching sets, necklace and earrings and stuff. Like, Avon made some cute flippin' jewelry, guys. Like, these earrings in here, those like gold ones, forget about it. They did make some cute flippin' jewelry. These ones here, okay, I need somebody to tell me the answer to this because I don't know. Like, these earrings, I'm guessing that's bone, but am I even allowed to sell it? I don't know. I've not sold anything like this before, and I know that there's rules that come into play here. I know it's not faux. it's bone of some sort. I don't know what though. Do you guys have any idea? And am I even allowed to sell it? And then these are like stone, like real stones of some kind. I think these might be jade. I'm not sure. But I love them. I do love them. I don't think the hooks are marked gold, which you would think if they're actually jade that they would be, but they're definitely stone. They're definitely stone of some kind. I don't know that they're actually jade though. If any of you guys know, let me know. That'd be cool. But yeah, so I got lots of cool stuff in here, and then down here is like, oh look, here's another, oh this is a set too, and it's got the earrings with it. I don't know. It's a Hong Kong one, but see these beads look a little beat up. Like this one probably I'll put in the damaged one, which I hate to do, but in the damaged section, that just means the beads, this necklace will be for sale. Yeah, see the earrings are like that too. I bet they glow though. I don't have my glow light up here, do I? I bet they glow though. Anyways, you know, because like these beads off of this could still be used, kind of thing. Let's see. Oh, and then I got a bunch of like vintage watches and such down here. A whole bunch of those. So we've got a ways to go. On top of, you know, like I said, all these necklaces and stuff in here. So I'm trying to work my way through this for you guys, and I'm doing my best to hopefully not miss anything that I could put together as a set. And I'm also trying to figure out like what things, because I do have some stuff that is, I know it's worth me listing on eBay. I do know it is, but I want to include fun, cool stuff in here that, you know, like I said, everything starts at $2. And if it winds up selling, you know, for more than $2, great. That's awesome. That's what I'm hoping for. But I want it to be fun, and I don't want to have to sit and worry about, oh, this is branded this and this and this and this. I just want everybody to show up, put their feet up, and have a good time. So that's my goal here. So anyways, I do have a separate little box here that I keep stuff that is probably a little bit more valuable in the sense of, you know, being real gold or silver and jewels. Oh, here's that ring I was talking about with that spiral stone on it. But that's the sterling one. And I'm not against selling stuff out of here, like this here. This is another one. It's definitely some sort of stone, and they're like little carved Buddha heads, and then there's one or two on here that's like a full-size Buddha. But I don't know enough about it. And the little rings on there make me think maybe they're silver, but I don't think any of them are actually marked. But anyways, I've been kind of holding on to my silver and gold because I don't have a lot of it, or the things that, you know, on that line that are probably, like I said, a little bit more valuable in that sense, because I have a feeling I might need silver or gold in the future, and I don't really have it in other forms. And so that's why I've been sort of sitting on these, but I'm not against selling them in the future at all. Oh my gosh, I gotta show you this. Now, I don't know what pieces are going to be in the upcoming jewelry jar versus, you know, because I plan on having probably 2 or 3 more sales at least, right guys? Judging by all this. But look at this. Oh my gosh, he's a pewter by JJ Giraffe, and he's in perfect condition. Oh, I love that guy. See, he's marked there. I love that piece. And then this one is marked Pam. It's a set, earrings and necklace. And I believe it's in overall beautiful condition. I mean, there might be a little tarnish or wear to the metal here and there, but I think it's overall in incredible condition. But I don't know who Pam is. You can kind of see, there it is. You can see the mark there. Super cool, super beautiful. And again, this is one that might be worth me listing on eBay. I don't know. I have a bunch of these. They're new old stock, kind of, we'll just say new old stock because they're all still on their original cart or tags, you know. But I'll probably sell these in a lot or something. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to show you some of the pieces and stuff that I've still got. These are like Venetian glass necklaces and sets of different things. So I'll be reloading the jar, and I think this time I'm going to make it even easier on myself, and I'm just going to simply number the items and then have my little stuff written down on the side, you know, and measure it with you guys and all that stuff. And I think it was just more fun doing it that way. But anyways, I will go ahead and close up this video. And I hope you guys had fun catching up with me on what has sold on my eBay recently. I just felt like I was starting to get behind on updating you guys on that. And I try to, especially with my eBay, tell you guys what's sold. On my live sales, of whether it's Whatnot or Niknax, that's a little bit hard for me to keep track of and go over. But definitely come to my sales and check them out. Everybody's invited. My Whatnot sale, there will be a link in the description of this video, and there is also a referral code, a referral link in there for if you're a new buyer on Whatnot, you can get $15 off of your first purchase on Whatnot. So take advantage of that. And then on my Niknax one, there's a link for my store and the upcoming sale in the video, but there's also a promo code in there where if you're a new buyer, you can get $5 off your first purchase on Niknax. So take advantage of that as well. My Niknax sale is this coming Thursday at 2 p.m. I hope to see everybody there. We will be doing another jewelry jar. And then Saturday, for Whatnot, I will be having more vintage, you know, decor and craziness and, I don't know, random crap thrown in. We're just going to have fun. So come join me and hang out. Thursday at 2, Saturday at 2. I'll see you guys there. Catch you on the next one.